Well, suppose it would have to be a prince. I see. The prince, huh? She seems pleased by that choice. I'm no puzzled to find her smiling somewhat happily at that. Based on hair length alone, it's gotta be you. Kamikado's hair is too long for you to play the prince. It wouldn't suit the character. Oh. You're basing it on hair length? And now she's looking sad. I don't get a sudden 180. In any case, this is a recitation if you're deciding roles. There's a very easy way to decide. Make a sudden declaration. Easy way to decide roles. Response to my bookworm buddy's question, point to a book she's holding. You both try out for a princess part, which is odd, but she's still a woman. Well, a prince is a guy, right? Why does the prince have to be a guy? Which means you'll have to both put on a voice. So first we'll need to hear you both, won't we? Shirahane nods in my observation. You're right. Do you think you could do that, Kamikado-senpai? Takasaki-san? They both look a bit awkward, but both nod and pick out a section of a book and ask him to read it aloud. Kamikado goes first.
ねえラプンツェル、この塔から抜け出し、外の世界へ行こう。二人で旅立てば、どんなに愉快だろう。
Rapunzel, let us escape from his tower and go to the world outside. How happy will we be if we go together? Everyone's dumbfounded when Kamikado-senpai takes the book in hand and speaks the lines confidently, without a trace of her previous bashfulness. How did I do? You're wonderful! Back to being shy again, she passes the book to Takasaki. Give it all you got. She ignores me and takes a couple of steps forward, and then, with a book in one hand, she folds her brow a little uneasily.
ねえラプンツェル、この塔から抜け出し、外の世界へ行こう。二人で旅立てば、どんなに愉快だろう。
Rapunzel, let us escape from this tower to the world outside. How happy will we be if we go together? After she's finished, her cheeks redden gradually. Looks like we have our witch. My voice echoes cruelly through the chapel. You can't be mean and make her your witch. I knew that we'd have to practice for recitation, but since we decided doing our own version of the story with Rapunzel for Grimm's Fairy Tales, I didn't think we'd be on the hook for it until the script was actually ready. Until then, however, all our time has been put aside to learn the fundamentals of recitation under Sister Basket. At first, I was sure we could have left it until after the script was done, but now, Miss Kamikado, please read your line. Mama, I'm home. How are you feeling? Kamikado-senpai is playing while Giovanni and the Knight of the Galactic Railroad. Ah, Giovanni, it's nice and cool today. I've been feeling well. Takasaki is playing the role of his sick mother. Okay, let's stop there for a moment. Sister Basket has jotted down notes on our scripts indicating the intonation, stress, where to take pauses and so on. The annotated script then serves the kind of sheet music. It's like a blueprint with symbols and opening stresses, pauses, changing perspective and points of greater emphasis on the script. Perhaps it's best to think of it as akin to a musical orchestra has to read from. Miss Yaegaki, make sure you're not simply listening but actually training your ear. Okay. There's a lot for us to practice even without a script. It's about a bunch of red squiggles, I have no idea what's what. Even when I'm writing notes, my scripts end up covered in red lines and circles. Right now, we're on the third chapter, set in Giovanni's house, with Giovanni himself and his mother that are in the appearance scene. Sister Basket's pointing to a passage in Kamikado-senpai's script, talking about how we should inject emotion into our lines, and how, when there's need for emphasis, we have to pull the feelings we want to express into our words. She's really quite zealous. This won't work than expected. Yeah, I thought with a recitation you just have to read the words aloud. Hiro stand back and watch Sister Basket's enthusiastic lecturing for a moment. I've never read a novel this many times before. It's certainly been a while since I read a book over and over without taking a break from it. And it's that favourite book of my dad's at least. Continuing this joking manner, we keep up our training until the script's finally finished, which ends up being 4 days after we start practicing. You there, beautiful maiden. Since the choir club's using a chapel for our first run through it together, it takes place in an empty classroom after class. I slipped out to a castle to come and see you. Listening to her sonorous tone, you can almost see the figure of a handsome prince in her place. Sweet child, what would you do if you were snatched away by the savage people who inhabit the world outside? Murmurs Takasaki. Good girl. If you understand that, then no, you must never ever leave his tower. Richard Shirahane's version of a tale looks like a young woman. Also, although she has an old-fashioned way of speaking, there's no need for Takasaki to put her voice, which is relief. Amitié Yaegaki, your turn. Sister Basket urges me to read. Oba-sama. Do you understand Rapunzel? Yes. Sorry for worrying you. You're absolutely right, Auntie. Stop. What's the matter, Yaegaki? You perform perfect when you're reading by yourself. I'm not quite sure. Mrs. Baskets look at me with a troubled expression. I know exactly why I'm unable to do it now. I'm not used to sounding so girly. Usually I speak in a far more masculine manner. However, the Rapunzel in Shirahane's script has an archaic style of speech fit for a princess. I'm not at all suited for it. Plus, think you speak a little more in character as Rapunzel? I am trying. I see. Well, it is our first day, so you have time to improve. She clasps her hands in front of her chest and smiles. However, get it together. You're the lead role. I know. And I do know. I struggle to even empathise with other people's feelings, I know that. Can a person who throws up walls between themselves and others really put themselves in someone else's shoes, even if it's just a character in a novel? Ugh, this sucks. Yaegaki-chan. If we don't hurry up, we'll be late to ballet class. Yes, I am aware. Ah, but I guess you don't need to change into leotard, so... Huh? Whatever could be the matter, Ichigo-san? It's a simple question, but she looks backwards as though she could be confronted by some ferocious carnivorous beast. Yaegaki-chan's broken. She's shocked. Come, we ought to hurry. Oh, Ringo-san, pray join us. This has a whiff of a new entry to a Seven Mysteries about it. Yes? An apparition that takes possession of students. Treating Yaegaki-chan, seemingly the most careful out of all of us, should fall victim to it. Whatever you're talking about. Right, this is bad. I bet she's got a raging fever. If I have time to do anything, she's pressing her own forehead against mine to check for a fever. Huh? You're hot? You don't feel hot at all. Hell if I have a fever. You're angry? Why? Of course. I've already get used to speaking more like a girl in everyday life. I'll be okay, but if you're having a tough time with something, you can always talk to me, okay, Yaegaki-chan? Ah, yes, my best friend. Sure. He can't be something I'm not. I have a long sight with stubborn Sasaki continues to pester me. The practice sessions continue, with me being still unable to get into character. I just can't get inside Rapunzel's head. I complained to Sister Basket. I voiced my concerns, but Sister Basket is standing incredibly close. She's practicing nestled up against me, so she too can read over my script. But it's kind of adorable and cute. I've come through the dark of night to see you again. She gazed at me, murmuring her lines in a masculine tone. I feel a strange shiver run not down my spine, but through my entire body. It's not an unpleasant sensation, in fact it's quite nice. I'm so happy I was waiting for you. I whispered timidly. The sound seems to come not from my own mouth, but that of a fragile maiden. Rapunzel, what would you like to hear about today? I can smell that sweet scent in particular to adult women coming from her. Her body pressed so close to mine that I can feel her heat. The words she's murmuring are those of a man. The contradiction has thrown me off completely, and when I try to read the script, her words seem to swim off a page. Stay calm. Sister Basket whispers into my ear, her voice back to its usual tone. You had Rapunzel just like then. It was a good idea to act it out. Right. When I voiced my complaint to Sister Basket, she suggested putting a hold on group readings and holding individual sessions, so we've been doing that for a while. However, I'm the one who suggested acting it out, but even though I got Sister Basket to play the part of a prince, I didn't know she'd get so easily carried away. Ah, you seem to have calmed down now. Let's continue. Pretty engrossed in the role as a prince, Sister Basket draws even closer to me, wrapping an arm around my waist and gazing fervently into my eyes. Rapunzel, you should leave this place. Why? You said you wanted to know about the world, didn't you? You're suffocating in here. I see the face of a prince arguing his case with passion. That sounds really wonderful. The world must be filled with so many things I've never seen before. And let's go. Let's travel the land and we'll live together in my castle. I suddenly have a vision of Shirahane, who of course wrote the script. She herself is trapped in a prison of her own. And one thing trying to break her free is... I cannot leave my grandmother. She would also be so... Her tireless protector, determined to keep her from harm even as she's unable to break free. That's... You can think about it, but Rapunzel, there's one thing I want you to keep in mind. Subtext. I've learned that in recitation it's important to read between the lines as well. I'm pretty sure that after this line there's a kiss. Huh? Sister Basket's lips are suddenly bearing down on mine, and a hot blood rushes to my face. Sister Basket. Wonderful. It seems like you got the hang of it. I have? It really seems though your mind was somewhere else. You've been inhabiting the role that well. There shouldn't be any more problems. She's incredibly close to me, and I nod silently, lacking with spirit to make my usual jokes. Perhaps noticing this, Sister Basket breaks into a smile and addresses me in a kindly tone. Miss Yaegaki, do you know why babies' cries are so loud? Why everyone within earshot is able to hear them? No. It's because the feelings I want to convey are so pure. Babies can't talk, and we have to make up for that, or lack of intelligence, speech, by waiting to be heard. It's a nice thought, all the same. I'm a contrarian. I don't think that theory is going to work for me. I'm contrary. In Rapunzel's last line, there was somewhat else dwelling in your voice. Speaking of that person in mind, I'm sure you'll be able to convey the necessary emotion. The script that she wrote. I'll do my best to become her. It's an unfamiliar style of speech. I was sure I'd never be able to inhabit the character. But my heart is perfectly clear as I gaze into Sister Basket's smiling face and make my declaration. Perhaps our private rehearsal was more helpful than I expected, as to quickly improve at reading Rapunzel's part. We'll see you continue our experiments and improvements next episode, shall we? Thanks for watching, a wonderful day. Bye bye.